Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Women Like Me Stories in Business. I'm your host, Julie Fairhurst, and I am dying to have this conversation today with this lady because as I did my research about her, she is like there's so many things that she has done and her mindset that is in me as well. So I'm so excited to do this. So let me tell you a little bit about her. So today's conversation is for women standing at the edge of a new chapter, wondering if it's too late, too risky, too selfish to choose themselves now. My guest, Janie Steele, is living proof that reinvention doesn't expire at 40, 50, or beyond. After marrying at 16 and becoming a mother at 20 and spending decades building her life around others, Janie made a bold decision to start again, creatively, personally, and powerfully at 50. So if you have ever felt the fire stir after the world told you your biggest years are behind you, this is the conversation that you want to be here for. Janie, thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to dive in.
Oh my gosh, thank you. You're welcome, but thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Perfect. Okay. So, my first question is you said that you were going big at 50. So, what does that actually mean? Was it emotionally, financially, mentally? Was it all?
It is all. It is all and then some. It's a lot. It always started, I was gonna go big. I wanted to go big. That was my plan. And it kind of hit me out of left field because I'd thought about it and dabbled with it in my 40s, but just kind of put it to bed and then it just broke. And I mean it broke. Like it's beyond the books that I have written over the years and more than I'm even currently writing. It's beyond the books. I want the whole freaking kit and caboodle of everything
Yeah,
I've ever thought, every thought that's ever ran through my head um, is going to be mine.
I love that.
It is absolutely going to be mine. I'm going to have a huge podcast someday. I'm still going to be on the big screen someday because that was my childhood dream.
Yeah.
Um, and you have to prioritize a little bit. like prioritize a little bit. I've got like 10 things going on at once between my book and just social media and trying to push my book and jumping into podcasts and two books I'm writing at once. So you can't do everything at once. I need to kind of make sure I'm focused a little, but big is not the word to describe what I'm after.
Wow. I love that. I love that. And and I what I said in the beginning is true. I was like that as well. And you give to your family and your kids and your parents and you just give. And sometimes we forget that we had dreams or have dreams. And sometimes they're just laying dormant back there.
It is so hard. It
Yeah.
is so hard because what you just said, I listened to a couple of your podcasts, and I think one was from a few years ago. And you said something that really struck with me. You were explaining to someone that every moment you've been in your life is where you were supposed to be. And I feel
Yes.
the exact same way. But it's so hard because I've always told my kids they kept me alive. Like I loved being a mother so much. And then so to some people to when they hear you describe what you just said, your dreams were dormant, your you was dormant, your you was different hats for different people. Some of them will think like, so you were miserable? No, I wasn't miserable.
No. Yes.
No, I wasn't miserable, but that's what they hear and
Yes.
perceive from you because you are so excited
Yes.
about this next chapter and
Yeah.
so like oomph in it and you're describing what you dealt with, what you felt, and you're trying to keep it positive because I would go back and redo every minute of my kid's childhood. I would do that 10 times, rinse and repeat, and never get to this chapter. If
Yes.
that was possible, that's not possible.
No.
So you have to decide to jump in and just squeeze it for all that it's worth.
And the thing that I love, Janie, about all of that is that we are just so darn wise. I wasn't, I always say like it was a wake up. Like when I was 30, I kind of woke up a little bit. And then when I turned 40, I woke up a little bit more. And then when I turned 50, I woke up a little bit more. And we just, for whatever reason, we just do. And we have so much wisdom. It just, I just wish I could shake some women because they feel like, oh, I was just a mother, or I was just this, or I was just that. But but you have all that inside of you, all of that, and it's so important. So I just love what you're doing, and I'm going big too. I'm with you.
Oh,
I'm with you.
absolutely. And what you just said is hard too, because I do have, friends and family my age, and I've got more friends and I've got a lot of realtor friends, and some of them are struggling with it. But there are, happy midlife women. And I think it can be a tough conversation at times because I think they think maybe you look down on them because they're perfectly happy in life and they don't want anything more. And you don't look down on them.
No,
You
not at all.
awesome. You're completely happy and fulfilled. Like, absolutely.
Yes.
Squeeze that, love every freaking minute of it.
Yes.
Uh, but some of us aren't.
Right.
There just, I think, I don't know. I think some of it stems from my youngest daughter is like this. There's just a dreamer in some of us. And I
Mhm.
don't care how much you love your life going through raising your kids and that hustle and bustle and that grind, because it is a fucking grind in itself.
Absolutely.
That little dreamer and you never dies,
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Yeah,
here,
love that. Love that. So I one of the moments you realized is I can't keep abandoning myself. So when did you finally realize that you were abandoning yourself? Or
um,
did or was that ever an aha moment for you?
pulling the trigger was an aha moment because I never thought I would. And
Mm,
and that's in reference to my current divorce. Um, I had always thought about it, and I thought about my after plan, and I thought about my dreams, and that's why I've been writing behind the scenes for, well, since I was little, since I was young, um, on again, off again over the years with kids. I jump into competitions, writing competitions, write something. Then I wouldn't write anything for 2 years. But the last 5 years, I really picked back up on my writing pretty consistently
yeah.
because two and then three of my kids were out of the house and it was down to just my youngest in high school. I was a realtor. I still am a realtor. So my schedule was flexible. And as I kept writing, finally, and I remember telling family and even my husband and my youngest, like, I have never written so much so consistently in 2 decades. And it
Wow.
just flowing out of me, songs, short stories, long stories. And that's when it really started bubbling and just bubbling. And like I was jumping at every chance I could to write. And I could
Wow.
feel it. And that just was a breakthrough. But when I turned 50, I was almost a grandmother. My grandson was born 5 months later. So the turning 50 kind of hit me in a way I wasn't expecting because I'm not afraid to be 50
Right.
uh, at all. Like I've been 30 since I was probably 10. Like I've been going on 30. When I was 15, I thought I was 30. And when I was 40, I still think I'm 30. I still feel like I don't feel 50.
Yes.
I just turned 51 last week. So
Yeah.
this whole thing started a year ago. And then I had my grandson. And that was a lot of really great emotion, but it also spoke to, wow, like how much time you have left.
Yeah.
And because we say 50s midlife, 50s not midlife. Let's
No.
get real fucking honest here.
Yeah.
Midlife's about 35
Yeah.
in terms of the average you live to about 77, 78.
Yeah.
That's when midlife, thankfully, my kids at that point, I had them and they were growing. I love the way I did it,
Yeah.
honestly. And I
Yeah.
know people are waiting, even my own daughters, one just became a mother at 30, and I already had all four of my kids by the time I was 30. But I love
Yes.
the way I do it because now I can enjoy my grandkids and love them. But I can really spend time with the wisdom you talked about and the
Yeah.
knowledge and the excitement and just
Yeah. Yeah.
go
No,
for it. All of it.
for sure, for sure. And I think that I've experienced the same thing. Like I don't have 50 years left on this earth. Well, maybe, who knows with technology.
True,
But
true. But how are you feeling when you're, 80?
yeah, yeah, no,
No.
exactly, exactly. And so you start to feel, because I feel that in you, that sense of urgency. And I have that same feeling in me, that sense of urgency about, definitely we're living longer and healthier and all that kind of stuff. But my girlfriend's husband just passed away at 52,
Oh,
from a heart attack. So we don't know, we don't really know how long we have.
that shit
And
just kills me. That shit just kills me. Like my whole thing
yes,
will be ruined now because I will be fixated on that and so sad for her.
yes, yeah, it's very, very sad. Yes. But who was it? Les Brown, I think, who said, the graveyard is full of people who didn't achieve their dreams, or who, full of dreams that never will be, or something to that effect, he says. And again, I agree with you. Lots of people are happy, and that's cool, and everybody is on their own path, and that's fabulous. But for those women who are wanting a different path, it can be, it just step make a step. And so it must have been, were you afraid when you made that?
Oh,
I
I
mean,
was fucking terrified.
yeah.
I'm still
I love
terrified
it.
at moments. But it all kind of has branched into a layer that is at least emotion and excitement, really.
Yeah,
You are terrified. And I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I self-published. I
yeah,
probably published too fast, a lot
yeah,
of mistakes, a lot of errors. But for me in the moment, it was just, and people have said to me, why did you do that? Why this? Why didn't you wait? I couldn't. I just couldn't.
yeah,
It was, I had to do it to almost then force myself to stay with it.
yes,
Like, and I just did it to
yeah,
get over that threshold and kind of then run forward.
yeah. So what happened then when you kind of cleared things away, the things, I guess, that weren't feeding you anymore, helping you anymore? I don't know how else to put it, but you seem like you cleared the plate.
It was very, very hard because this second time around, I was married for 27 years. Um, and it was very hard. Um, my husband and I are friends, but we did not have a third chapter in us. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
very hard. And, I almost backtracked a few times and just thought, you know, life is good. I'm a very grateful person,
mhm,
probably because of my childhood. And it's very hard for me to really ever not be grateful. So ending a marriage, moving on, thinking of myself I just talking about it makes me cringe because a lot of women don't do that in general. And I certainly am in a category where I feel like I'm betraying my soul to think about myself and
mm,
not be grateful. Like I believe if I think about myself for too long, someone I love is going to die or be crippled. Like I'm going to be punished. So it was very hard. And I was writing the book when I still wasn't even sure, divorce wise, what was going to happen. Um, and I just pulled the band-aid off. I just pulled the band-aid off. And that's why I kind of published so quickly, maybe to give myself something to distract
mm,
myself with,
mhm.
um, which worked and helped. There's a lot of grief in midlife when your kids age out of the system, so to speak. There's a lot of
Yeah,
grief.
yeah,
Like I said, I go back into it a million times, every minute, every
yeah,
headache. And I knew it in the moment that I would. Like I was madly in love with being a mother. It was everything. And then it's gone and it's different. And you grieve that time. So for me, that made it not easy, but something to focus on of getting to myself, of
yeah,
choosing myself for the first time because there wasn't a kid at home. You know, I think it's harder for women who are 50 and they might still have a 10 and a 12-year-old, 14-year-old, because that would kill me. My youngest at the time was 20. She'll be 21 in a few months,
Right.
off at college. It makes it a little easier, I think,
Yes.
because I would be so torn if they were younger.
Yeah. Yeah. When you first published your book, what surprised you about it? Or was there anything that surprised you?
Oh my God, everything surprised everything. There is so much stuff behind the scenes. Like Amazon is not a bookseller. Amazon
No.
is an algorithm. Oh my God, like there's so many, how long it takes to get traffic. Um, it, it, which makes sense when you think about it. It's not a 3-minute song.
No.
It's a commitment someone has to make to read a book. Uh,
Yes.
8-10 hours, and readers are dwindling, and
Yes.
I'm not on audiobook yet, so I need to do that. I need to stop writing things I'm writing. That's one of the priorities. I need to get it on audio because everybody says romance women want it on audio. I really need to do that. I need to put that on my priority list.
Yes.
But behind the scenes, there is so much competition, crazy competition. It's so hard to get someone to read. It's even harder. Like only like 15% of readers leave a review. And
Mhm.
I started off with really great reviews early on until recently. And I got now like on Goodreads, I think I'm up to like 6 or 7 one-star reviews, which is really nerve-wracking. But then you go through the books, you go through the huge hits, some of Colleen Hoover's books, and she's got 100,000 5 stars, but she does end up, she has 10,000 1 stars. And that makes you feel better. You're like,
Yes.
okay, that was a huge hit. And for whatever reason, some people just hated it. But I've only got like 100 reviews. So it really,
Yes.
in the
Yes.
stomach.
Yeah.
Um, how honestly, one of the biggest things, and I should have known this because I don't consider myself an author. I call myself a storyteller
Hmm.
because I don't know, author in my head is a very esteemed sort of thing. Um, I think a lot of them are storytellers, to be honest with you, and they don't want to admit it.
Yeah.
Necessarily in the author category that I'd hold them to, but some are. But a lot of them are really cocky and condescending that I've interacted with. And I don't enjoy that part because I don't like elitism in any category. I don't care. You could be Gandhi
Yeah.
and I don't care. You're human,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
leave the ego at the door.
Yes.
That's been tough because I think I'm a little too bold. I actually have thought like of these one stars, some of them, not all of them, because the book's not for everybody. The way I write is not for
Right.
everybody. But I've thought, is this someone who just hates me on social media? Because like, did I piss somebody off? And it's not that they couldn't like it, because a lot of people may not like it, but it's just like 5 words they said that really have nothing to do with the book. And I'm
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
really? Because I'm pretty nice on social media
Yeah.
because I'm
Yeah.
in a really good place.
Yeah. So we've published in the Women Like Me program so far 32 books. So they're all collaborative books. And then I've got my own books that I've done. And reviews hardly happen at all. I know we're selling, I know people are reading, but they're not leaving reviews. So it's just one of those things. What I've changed though is I now ask everybody for a Google review. And with a Google review, I actually can respond and thank people or ask them what I could have done. Just more, it's more engaging. So, but I understand what you're saying because when I first started and I was never getting, I'd be begging people, can you just leave it? Can you ask people to leave a review? Leave a review. And it just became uh too I just yeah, it was too much. So now I don't even if I get one review, we get one review. What can you do? And I know that we have to be careful because I do know that there are programs out there and there are groups that you can join and they read your book. You're all giving each other reviews. So it's so hard to say what reviews are, how many authors or books, whether all their 100,000 reviews are real or not real. I don't know. I get it
It
though.
is tough
It's
because
yes,
people naturally assume it. Well, it's so funny to learn what people assume goes on behind the scenes, and
yeah,
a lot of that does go on, and but it goes on for the top tier people too. Like
yes.
I think it just goes on for those scrapping at the bottom.
Oh no, no.
I'm not a reader. That's a problem. Like I've read,
Yeah,
book ever's Prince of Tides,
yeah,
um, but I'm not an active reader
yeah.
because reading other people's works, it gets in my head. It gets stuck in my head, and I end up sounding like them, writing like them, and I can't break away from that. So yeah, I get hit up online all the time on Instagram in particular of like, let's read each other. And while I'm a little busy right now,
Yeah, 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 for
not a
sure.
reader.
Yeah, and I understand that because I'm not sure if I mentioned it to you, but I was in real estate until a year and a half ago when I retired, and I was in it for 34 years. And I remember when I was really struggling, I had to stop looking. Back then it was newspapers. I had to stop looking at the newspaper ads of all the top people because it made me feel inferior, and it got in my head, and it affected my self-esteem and my confidence level. So when I realized it, I'm like, you know what, I'm done. I don't care, you do you. I'm focusing on me. I don't want to know what you are all doing out there. I don't care what you're doing. I wish you the best, but I am going to put blinders on. And when I did that, my confidence level came up. So I totally get that.
Even in real estate, you can buy credentials. You can
Yes. Yeah.
subscribe to stuff and get the little stickers and stars. And someone thinks, they don't even understand the person at the top. It's a pyramid sort of thing. They take
Yeah.
credit for all 50 people under them. Yeah, that
Yes.
infuriates me too.
Yeah.
I do pretty well in real estate. People don't know how hard it is to even be over a certain metric at all. And I've
Yeah.
done really well the last several years. I've been a
Yeah.
real estate agent, I think about 10 years.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, that's it. There's fishy shit that goes on everywhere.
There is, and I think the key for especially women, because men seem to have that block. They can just deal with
Dude.
that. We take it to the heart, and we wake up at
Yep.
3 in the morning, and it's like, oh my God, she sold that many books, and oh my God, I've only sold this many, and why is nobody, and we just, it's harmful to our, so I think good for you not reading other people's stuff. You're protecting your mindset, and I think that that's so important.
Yeah, it's I mean, I'll tell you what, just last week, I mean, my book is obviously very crazy lowly ranked. I just did a big Goodreads at
Yeah.
NetGalley investment into marketing it, stuff like that. I'm still marketing it all over, but I don't give a shit how much it sells. The
Yeah.
book was meant for the big screen, so I'm doing more later this afternoon. But I sent off 10 beautiful packets to places in Nashville because it's the 5 or 6 chapters are based in Nashville. It's written in a very cinematic way. It's almost written as a screenplay. There's a lot of dialogue back and forth. And I
Wow.
sent off with a beautiful letter and, a pitch and like, this belongs on the screen.
Yeah.
Here, case
Yeah.
closed. And I'm telling you right now, Julie, someone's going to pick it up.
Absolutely.
Nashville and Cleveland, I'm focused on next. Then I'm hitting Hollywood. Like it will be on the screen. Like
Yeah.
I just know it will be.
Yes.
It's women led, strong characters, midlife, reinvention. There's some really great love scenes, we'll call it that, in there.
Yeah.
It's a cliffhanger and there's mystery. It's just meant for the screen.
Yeah.
I and people look at me and they're like, well, they just think you have to sell 1 million copies. And actually, when you research it, you don't. It's actually, you don't have to, you just have to get in front of somebody who sees a story.
Absolutely. It's not, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. So, what does success look like to you in this chapter compared to your earlier life?
Ooh. Um, I think so. I mean, I think success looks the same in terms of the core of it, like the core of just being happy, like feeling good with yourself. I feel I've had terrible periods where I didn't feel good with myself. Um, like terrible periods, like peel me off the floor in a fetal position and keep me from,
Mm,
climbing on the train tracks. But
yeah.
I've had really good periods where I'm good with myself and I'm good with myself. So to me, I'm successful already.
Yeah.
There's definitely, I'll put in the category of, I don't want to say material things. What would be a word similar, but they're not material things. I don't want what I want to, fly jets and jet set all over the world. And
Yes.
like, I honestly can't wait to give back to people, to animals in particular. It's a huge, huge passion of mine. I just can't wait to be in a position just to do really good things.
Yes.
And I don't know if
Yeah.
people will believe that about me when they hear that. God, that makes me so fucking excited when I think about the ability to do that. Because, you do it to, hopefully a lot of people do it to some capacity that they're able to do it. You've got to eat and you've got to take care
Yes.
of yourself and all of that. But that's what I really look forward to.
Yeah.
That would, be in some category of success.
Yeah.
Plus, yeah, there is, I guess, some amount, I hate to use the word ego, but I want to break fucking records, like
Yes.
across the board on everything I want to do. I want to
But
prove to people you can still do it. You can do
yes.
it from this background, that
Yeah.
background. You can do it with no experience. Fucking learn, like just
Absolutely.
learn as much as you can,
Yeah.
network, grow it, do it, feel it. I want to break every record possible for
Yeah.
someone over 50.
Well, and the wonderful thing about that, Janie, is that we're watching. There's people watching.
They
You
really
got it.
are.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
They are. And eventually, and you'll never know. Just like with this podcast, you will never know how many women watch this and go, yeah, maybe I just need to start. Maybe I need to figure this out. Yeah, I feel like I've lost myself. I mean, I love my family. I love everybody but but I'm gone. Because we as women, we give, 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 give. And sometimes we end up empty at the end of the day. And so you just don't know who you're going to help. And I think that I think it's wonderful what you're doing. And I love your energy and I love your enthusiasm. And I think we need to speak more like that. Speak what you want. I'm going to be on the screen. I'm
Manifest
going
it,
to do
baby.
this.
Manifest it. There's another
Absolutely.
one I watched. You had a guest a few years ago talking about manifesting, and I've always known of it, but I just really got into it in terms of it started as just meditating, but now it's probably branched over into a manifestation sort of
Yeah.
thing. It makes me feel alive. Like how
Yes.
could it be wrong? It makes me feel really good about
Yes.
moving forward.
Yes.
It's not
And
easy. It's exhausting at times.
it can be absolutely, but that belief and that hope and that well, it's not even hope, but it's belief. So important that we have that for whatever we're doing in our work in our life, because that belief is what is going to help us to get where we need to go. Believe is my favorite word. I have little believe signs everywhere. You go to
Delusional
my
is mine.
you go to my front door and you ring my doorbell and there's this believe sign hanging there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I call it delusional, and I'm happy to be delusional. Like
Yeah,
I'm so happy to be delusional. And it's
yeah,
funny because if you listen to the really big, those who have crossed over well into beyond heightened levels of success,
yes,
they make the videos, they make the speeches. And it's funny because I have a lot of people in my life that, boy, they love listening to that from others, from complete strangers. Like they buy into it, they love it, it makes them feel
yeah,
warm and gooey inside. But they hear you say it, and it's like, are you okay? Are
yeah,
you all right? You need help?
yeah,
No, I don't need help. I'm fucking delusional,
yeah.
and that's my path. And I don't know
Yeah.
what to do.
Because I think they get maybe uncomfortable
Right.
because you're pulling away. right? There's a shift happening in you that possibly is not happening at them, which can definitely make them feel uncomfortable, unfortunately. But I get it. But we can't, we still have to go. We still have to move forward. We can't dim our light for anyone. We're here to
Well, and there
do
are
great
reasons, like
things.
outside of obviously my desire, where I want to have an impact, and I felt that way since I was a kid. Like
Yeah.
I want to have an impact on people's worlds, on their
Yes.
lives, on people who need it.
Yeah.
Um, and animals, like I said, is a huge passion for me, dogs in particular. But there are things that for the people who might be uncomfortable with you, you do want to make their world slightly better. So
Yes.
they're going to benefit from if you cross over and you have, outside of the
Yes.
success of being just happy inside, the material
Yes.
side of it, for lack of a better word, they're going to
Yes.
benefit.
Yes. Yes.
That's never going to change for me, who I love, regardless of whether they're supportive or not of
Of
what.
course. Absolutely. So if a woman's listening and she feels it's too late, or she's too tired, or she's too far behind, what do you want her to know?
Ooh, um, it's not it's not guiltless. So when you're feeling guilty, that's normal. You're supposed to feel guilty. And I think if you were a decent mom, you're gonna feel guilty, because again, you have to begin to say things to yourself and for yourself and about yourself that sounds like maybe to others you regretted choices you made, and there's a guilt there.
Mm.
Um, and if you're a good mom and love your kids, you don't want anybody to think that. So you're going to feel guilty and accept it. I'm a big believer, and I've done this my whole life, not just with this new chapter. I'm a big believer that if you can really understand what you're going to face, feelings you're going to face, negative feelings, know what's coming, and you are prepared for them, you can accept them better rather than just being blindsided with emotions that come out of nowhere. And it's a hard decision, because hopefully maybe you have a support system, but if you don't, it's still fucking possible if you don't, if you have
Absolutely.
zero support system. That's
Yes.
all I can say about that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And the other thing that I think I would like to mention on just on what you have just said is that let's not forget that we're a mirror to our children. And that if we, especially our daughters, and if we are not showing that we care, that are we still have dreams and goals and desires, and we're taking care of ourselves and we put ourselves first as well, then they're going to see that, and then they're going to go, oh yeah, yeah, just because I turned 50 and my kids are growing up, or 60, doesn't mean that I can't still have a life. I can't still restart those dreams that maybe I left behind because I wanted to raise my family. They're going to learn from what we're doing. And I think that it's just so important that we're good for them to see
It's
yeah.
in my personal scenario, that one's a little tough, because I think I taught my daughters things I probably shouldn't have taught them. And so I'm kind of undoing that. And that's
Mhm.
a little tough. Now, I taught them great things. I taught them, amazing resilience and
Yeah.
work ethic and loyalty and a lot of good things. But for yourself, I didn't teach them very well for you. And now it's a little difficult to undo that. And I hope eventually they see that and understand that, as they're both, I have another grandchild, a little girl this time, due in April. So I'll have two grandchildren. But we're all in different phases.
Of
Like
course.
daughters and others, like they need to enjoy their motherhood for years to come and embrace that, because like my grandson is now almost 8 months old. And of
Aw.
course, watching my daughter is just blissful in how much she loves him. And she will say to me, like, boy, you said this was amazing. I had no idea. Like, it's even more amazing than you described. And I described it pretty
Oh.
freaking amazing. She needs to enjoy that. There's periods and phases that we all go.
But that's positivity that you've passed on as well. Your joy of motherhood, you have passed on to your girls. As I'm sitting here, I didn't have that happy mother. And so even for me with my kids, I see the distance, I see the blocks, I see all those things that I had growing up. So good for you. You've passed so we may not pass on everything, but what a wonderful thing that you've passed on. You're going to have your daughters are going to be fantastic mothers because of you.
They are.
Yeah.
One is already, I mean, she's amazing. She's absolutely
Yeah.
amazing. The other one will be absolutely amazing. Um, and yeah, that'll be just amazing to watch. I didn't have a mother, so
Yeah. Yes. 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 Well, that is good. So let me ask you how has your voice, creatively and personally changed since stepping into this new chapter?
oh gosh, it was so hard. Um, I've just gotten more and more of feeling myself again, almost like my way younger 15, 16, 18 self. And I was already married at 16. So um, it was very hard when I was told you've got to do this, you've got to start at least marketing through TikTok. Um, and putting myself out there was very difficult. And
Mhm.
it's still some videos are very difficult. I'll spend an hour just like, am I posting this or not? Am I not? But my little corner of TikTok and now Instagram and other social apps are great corners. I know there's ugly, evil, nasty corners out there. Um, Mine is great. People are encouraging and nice and wonderful, and you get your bubble of kind of circle, and everybody's struggling and dealing with something or trying to uplift. So I now really enjoy it. And I can feel every day I'm becoming more of someone I remember.
Oh, love that. Love that. Someone
Not like
you
she was dead
remember.
because I was always a little bit the life of the party.
Yeah.
Uh, but I was married and raising kids, so it was hard to really jump into that. I might have overdrank twice a year.
Yeah.
Not drinking has anything to do with it, people. It's just an
Yeah.
example of letting loose
Yes.
and really enjoying an experiment or
Yes.
experience at the moment. Uh,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
I'm feeling like me.
Yes.
I'm feeling like me.
That's perfect.
No, it's so weird because you don't know me, but if you knew me, like, yeah.
But that's what we all strive for, to feel like ourselves,
Well, we
to
and we
feel
naturally wear a
ourselves
lot of masks,
and
especially as a
and
realtor.
love ourselves.
In the book, it's I talk about that from the main characters. Like, I wear 72 masks with different clients. You know, when to be the quiet realtor, the nice, the funny, the outgoing, the listener. And we do that in life. We're a customer, we're a
Yeah.
coworker, we're a wife, we're this, we're in front of teachers, we're different. The masks get heavy and they're
Yes.
necessary. You can't go around screaming at, to that person, coach, to teacher, to the cashier. Like, you have to
Yeah.
wear a mask, a
Yes, of
hat.
course.
Um,
Yeah.
but you can reach a point where it's comes off. And maybe it's just because I'm happy that I don't have
Yeah.
to, like, squish down
Yes.
different hats that aren't, don't fit moments. Because the hat I'm wearing currently fits a lot of fucking moments. And that's
Yeah.
it's pretty good. Like, I
Beautiful.
don't have to
Yeah.
flip on and off
Exactly.
all the time.
Yeah. So our time is starting to get short, Janie, but I want to talk about your book. So do you have a book near you that you can
I
hold up? Just so and I'm going to let
always
everybody
have a
know that we are going to have love that cover. We're going to have all of Janie's information in the show notes. So you'll be able to find her books, find her yeah, so that you can reach out to her, you can grab her book, leave her a nice review. Come on, people. So yeah, so let's see that again. Can you hold it up? Sort of, oh, beautiful
closing for
cover.
us.
That's a beautiful cover. Now, did you have someone help you with that, or did you do that
Oh
on
God,
your own?
absolutely. No.
Yeah.
I started, everything came from me from Canva. Like,
Yes.
ideas, and then I did hire professionals
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
take it to the finish line, and you got
Yeah.
options and
And
stuff.
it's
And
a big book. I think when I was doing some research, I think it's like 400 pages.
yes, and that is a problem. I did not know that it should not have gone over 300 pages.
Yeah, yeah,
Have twice
yeah,
as many readers. A lot of
yeah.
people will see 400, it's 399, and they will not select it. They'll select the 302 page book.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah, well, you've got a trilogy in there. Maybe you can.
It really, I mean, it just kept going, and I
Yeah.
remember condensing it. It was at like 490 at one point, and I condensed it down.
Wow. Yeah.
It's got a
Yeah.
lot of meat in it. So
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Well, yeah, absolutely. But just because it's got a lot of pages doesn't mean that it's going to take a long time to read or anything. It's about getting absorbed in the story. And yeah, I just love it. I love it. Okay, well, thank you for that. So everybody, just know that in the show notes, there's going to be links so you can get that book, you can reach out to Janie, whatever it is that you need to do, you're able to do. So let me ask you one last question. So looking ahead, what kind of legacy are you intentionally creating now that you're finally living for you?
oof, gosh, that's a good one. It's funny that you say legacy because it makes me think of some of my favorite song lyrics that my youngest, about a year ago, had tattooed on her shoulder in my handwriting. She tricked me and had me write out the lyrics and said it was a
Oh,
poster.
that is so beautiful.
Added it on the back of her shoulder. And they're lyrics from the Indigo Girls. And regardless of what success I may or may not have, again, outside of how I feel about myself, it still is always probably going to come down to these lyrics for me. And that is, um, if we ever leave a legacy, it's that we loved each other well. And so this next chapter, as long as there's a lot of love, then I'm good. I'm good to go. Do I want
Wow.
to break the records? Absolutely.
Yes, of course.
With a
Yeah,
cause there and a meaning
yeah,
and a purpose to inspire others that they can do it.
yeah,
You can do it. Like,
yeah,
you can do it. You
yes,
can do it. I can't say that enough.
yeah,
You can do it.
yeah. Yeah, beautiful. What a wonderful way to end this. Janie, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being
Thank
so
you.
open and
Thank
honest and sharing yourself with us. And as I said, everyone, in the show notes, you'll have the information there to be able to reach out to Janie and to purchase her book. So I hope that you will do that. Beautiful. Love this conversation.
Thank you. Thank you. I want
Yes.
to come back.
Yes, yes,
So
anytime.
much to dive into.
Absolutely anytime at all. And to you guys who are all watching and listening, thank you for being here. I appreciate it so much. And until next time, take care, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.